1. Imagine you're doing everything right. You meticulously track every calorie. You train hard, day after day. You have the discipline of a professional athlete. And yet, when you look in the mirror in the morning, that stubborn belly fat is still there. It feels like your body is sabotaging you. The bitter truth is, it might be. But not because you're not doing enough. It's because a silent war is raging inside you while you're supposed to be resting. There is a biological condition that almost nobody knows about. It's called nocturnal hypercortisolemia. Simply put, your cortisol levels are way too high in the middle of the night. Between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., your body should be in repair mode, but due to a hormonal signaling error, your system thinks you're in danger. You may be lying still in bed, but your metabolism is running a marathon. Your adrenal glands pump stress hormones into your bloodstream, giving the command, store every gram of fat directly in your midsection. As long as you don't stop this nighttime hormonal storm, every diet in the world will fail against belly fat. Today, I'll show you how to find the biochemical off switch for this stress response. 2. To understand why your belly fat is so stubborn, we need to look at two tiny, pyramid-shaped organs sitting right on top of your kidneys, your adrenal glands. They are the command center for your stress hormones. In a perfect world, your cortisol follows a beautiful, natural rhythm. Early in the morning, it spikes to wake you up and give you energy for the day. That's healthy. That's essential. But once the sun goes down, it should gently decline to make room for your recovery hormones. But we no longer live in that perfect world. Constant blue light from screens, deadlines, hidden worries, or even too much caffeine in the afternoon have altered our biology. Your adrenal glands are now in a constant state of alert. They're literally stuck in the on position. They're not malicious. They're simply overwhelmed. When your cortisol stays elevated at night, something disastrous happens to your metabolism. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone. That means it breaks down tissue. But unfortunately, not your fat, your valuable muscle. While you sleep, your body starts eating its own muscle to provide energy you don't even use in bed. At the same time, nighttime cortisol activates an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. This enzyme acts like a magnet, pulling fat molecules directly from your bloodstream and locking them deep in your abdominal cavity between your organs. This is how dangerous, hard, visceral fat forms, the so-called cortisol belly. It's not a sign of laziness, but the result of a hormonal state of emergency that never shuts off. 3. If cortisol is your body's alarm state, then magnesium is the gentle hand that turns that alarm off. To understand why this one mineral can make the difference between a sleepless night and a night of fat burning, we need to look deep into your brain. Magnesium works in three crucial ways that function like a perfectly coordinated orchestra. First, we need to talk about GABA. GABA stands for gamma-aminobutyric acid. Think of GABA as the brake pedal of your brain. When your mind is racing and you're lying in bed unable to switch off, it's usually due to an excess of glutamate, the gas pedal of your brain. Magnesium is GABA's chemical partner. It binds to receptors in your nervous system and allows relaxation to actually occur. Without sufficient magnesium, you may press the brakes, but the car simply won't stop. Second, magnesium is the hidden architect of your sleep hormone, melatonin. Many people turn to synthetic melatonin supplements, but your body is actually a factory designed to produce this hormone on its own. However, this process is a chemical chain reaction. It starts with the amino acid tryptophan, converts into serotonin, and finally into melatonin. The crucial final step, transforming serotonin into melatonin, requires a specific enzyme, and that enzyme needs magnesium as fuel. Without that fuel, production stalls, no matter how tired you feel. Finally, magnesium acts as a shield for your adrenal glands. As we've already discussed, they are highly sensitive to stimuli. Magnesium works like a shock absorber, dampening the signals from your brain that constantly scream stress. With enough magnesium in your system, your body no longer reacts in panic to every blue light or distant noise. You become more resilient from within. Magnesium is not just a supplement. It is the foundation that allows your body to switch from survival mode back into healing mode. 4. Now that you understand why magnesium is so critical, we come to the most important question. Which magnesium should you take? Because this is where most people make a mistake that completely ruins their progress. Walk into a typical drugstore, and you'll find magnesium oxide almost everywhere. It's cheap to produce, but nearly worthless for your body. Its absorption rate is only about 4%. That means 96% stays in your gut, pulls in water, and acts like a laxative. Instead of sleeping deeply, you'll be running to the bathroom at night. That's the exact opposite of what we want. You should also be cautious with magnesium citrate. It's better than oxide, but it still has a strong laxative effect. If you wake up at night because your digestion is active, your cortisol will immediately spike again. The absolute gold standard for deep sleep and cortisol control is magnesium bisglycinate. Here, magnesium is bound to the amino acid glycine. This has two powerful advantages. First, your gut recognizes glycine and transports the magnesium directly into your cells like a stowaway without irritating digestion. Second, glycine helps lower your core body temperature slightly, a biological signal to your brain that says, it's time for deep sleep. If you suffer from high stress or focus issues, magnesium threonate is an excellent choice because it crosses the blood-brain barrier very effectively. And if your heart tends to race under stress, magnesium taurate can help calm your cardiovascular system. But how much do you need? Research shows that we must reach a therapeutic threshold. To truly calm the nervous system and activate fat burning, you need between 300 and 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium daily. The perfect timing? Take your dose about 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. This gives the mineral enough time to enter your bloodstream, bind to your GABA receptors, and initiate the hormonal cascade for restful sleep. 5. Magnesium is a powerful ally, but it's not a magic pill that can work miracles in the middle of chaotic habits. For your body to truly switch from storage mode to fat-burning mode at night, we need to set 3 biological anchors. The first anchor starts, oddly enough, right after you wake up. Your nighttime cortisol can only be low if your morning cortisol was high enough. Get daylight within the first 20 minutes after waking. It's not about staring at the sun, but allowing photons to hit your retina. This signal tells your brain, it's daytime. It triggers a healthy cortisol spike that sets your internal clock. If you miss this morning anchor, your rhythm shifts, and your cortisol stays elevated late into the night, exactly what we want to avoid. The second anchor is your last meal. Nothing spikes nighttime cortisol faster than a blood sugar crash. If you eat a lot of simple carbohydrates late in the evening, your insulin rises sharply, and your blood sugar crashes about 3 hours later. Your body panics and releases adrenaline to free up glucose. You wake up with a racing heart, and fat burning stops immediately. Follow the 3-hour rule. Eat your last meal at least 3 hours before bed, and focus on protein and healthy fats. And if you did eat carbs, take a 10-minute walk afterward. Your muscles will act like a sponge, soaking up the glucose before it can disrupt your sleep. The third anchor is inflammation control. Your body uses cortisol as a natural anti-inflammatory. If you constantly consume industrial seed oils like soybean or canola oil, which are high in omega-6 fatty acids, you keep your system in a state of chronic inflammation. Your adrenal glands are forced to continuously produce cortisol to put out the fire. By removing these oils, you take pressure off your glands. You stop provoking the bear. When you combine magnesium with these three anchors, you give your body the chance to truly repair itself for the first time in years. You won't just sleep better. You'll reprogram your biology for success. Master your night, and you will conquer your body during the day.